Nothing inspires more nostalgia and wonder than the musky and warm smell of books and turning pages. Well, other than petrichor. My Blood the Ink, the Dante Diaries. Welcome back to episode 6 of the Dante Diaries, a companion podcast to My Blood the Ink. Written and directed by Jay Caudill. My name is Taniqua, a lover of storytelling of all kinds, and president of Jay Caudill's fan club and Akeem's Alchemy. On today's episode, we will be discussing episode 6, The Void Have Teeth. Joining us today, of course, is the mastermind, author, and director Jay Caudill, and genius music composer of all the music and leitmotifs you've heard this episode and beyond, Mike Landis. Today, our special guest is Zakiyyah, actress, art activist, and change maker who plays Queen Mother herself, Danai, and lively commentator, Francesca Blackwater. Welcome, friends.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Woo, I'm so excited. Y'all have no clue. This child, it feels like a fever dream, the way that I've listened to these episodes back to back, 5 and 6, but we'll get into it. As a recap, as I said, episode 6 is wild. We're in the middle of the exhibition as soon as we thought the gods were hitting a turning point with King Temkung finding a weak spot in Oceanus. The tide turns on its head. The Septentry is now facing individual battles that are both emotional and physical against Kamoholii, Neptune, Hydra, Tiamat, which shout out to D&D, and Charybdis, and also Nereus, question mark? All right. We experience everyone's battles that tap into their hubris and arrogance, and by the end, it seems no one is left standing. At least according to the cliffhanger, Jay. Anyway, so Francesca, girl, shall we get back to the battle?
Let's get back to the battle.
Yes. Welcome. So we are so excited to have you on today's episode. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, my name is Zakiyyah, she, her, artist, activist, all those things, and I play Danai and Francesca Blackwater.
Yes. I love it. You have, girl, as soon as I heard episode 1 and I heard you playing Danai, I was like, yes. Yes, absolutely, yes. I was so freaking excited and just like immediately fell in love. So just very grateful to chat with you and talk to you all the things. Also, you have no clue. My family is so invested in Danai. I get questions all the time. Where's Danai? Did she die? Who killed her? When is she coming back? And I'm just like, I literally know nothing. I know nothing. So it's been crazy.
Yeah, I've heard some conspiracies, man. I'm like, wow, okay.
Literally, me and my partner, sometimes we'll just be together, and I will video message Jay, and she's just like, "What happened to Danai, Jay? What happened?" And I'm just like, "He can't tell you."
Gotta stay tuned in.
Gotta stay locked in. But just to start off, how are we feeling about the odds of the Septentry right now? Francesca, do you have any tea to spill?
Oh no, I don't spill the tea in advance.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid for that. That's
I
not
was
how that
about to
works.
say that. Yeah, we would be taking my job away if we do that. But no, it's only gonna get crazier from here. That's what we do know.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
Oh my gosh, Miguel. I'm sure you know a little something, but do you have any? What are you feeling about the Septentry right now as it stands?
Oh, say shit get hit. I don't know.
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
When someone smacks you in the mouth, what you gonna do? I don't know. That's all I got.
I mean, it is what it is. Well, as we always do, I would love to know, Zakiyyah, about your process on developing your characters. You play both the very, very powerful people. Danai starts the story, and now Francesca is guiding us through one of the most tumultuous events in the event series so far.
Which one do I start with? Well, okay, so I will say Danai was the one I was most intimidated by, because I'm like, okay, I have to play an older, seasoned woman who's been through a lot of things, seen a lot of things, very worldly, you know what I'm saying? And I had to experiment a lot, and at first I was doing this thing with my voice, trying to make it sound older. But, you know, child, I'm also a singer. So after a little while of doing that, my voice was like, no, this is not sustainable. We was like, okay. I had to listen to it. And then Jay was like, you know what? Don't do all of that. And then we talked about giving a little accent that has a little southern to it, but like sophistication as well, that shows the worldliness. And then we talked a lot about the relationship between Danai and Dante, and how like Danai loves her grandson, but there's also a lot of these really complex feelings of resentment for the things she's had to sacrifice and give up with her family, and you know, just really a really complex character that requires a lot of nuance and a lot of care. I mean, all the characters require care, but I think you know, it's really a testament to the phenomenal writer, that the character has so much depth and just so many layers. It's like, it's not like this one-dimensional character that you can just put on. Like, there's layers to her, and even I don't know, it's like episode 1.5 where I got to get all emotional and talk about Danai's childhood memories and some of the trauma that she carries, and how all of that kind of compounded together to create the woman that she is, who's now guiding Dante through his own journey. I said a lot. Wait a minute. But what was the question? Oh, yeah. Okay. The development. So, yeah, I guess long story short, with Danai, it was just a lot of, like, just having to get to know who she is and pick apart those layers. And Jay and I talked a lot about those pieces, and experimented with voices and our dynamics together. And him playing a little kid was the funniest thing ever. But that's a whole other story. And then when it comes to Francesca, the interesting thing about Francesca is I was excited about Francesca, but for a different reason, because I know that myself and, oh Lord,
Kira.
Kira! I love you, girl. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I know that we work well together, and me and Kira were like bouncing off of each other, and decided to create like these two very different personalities. And so Kira was kind of giving me more like traditional reporter, in the sense that like we're just here to do this corporate jobs in a sense, but like with a quirky accent that she added, which I thought was like amazing. And then I was giving more like Breakfast Club, like, yeah, what's up, y'all?
Yeah.
This was going on. And so it was like we were like bouncing off of each other, but also like even the energies were different, because she was giving more of this like anxious energy, and like I'm more of like, I guess, the calmer of the two. That's kind of like, girl, girl, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
I think just like, I think that the cool thing about that character is that like it's not a character that was built in isolation. I mean, they never, you know, are completely built in isolation, but you know, sometimes when you take a character, you're thinking about just who that character is, but I also have to think about who that character is in relation to my other anchor. So
Can I just say really quickly, this is one of the things that I loved about working with the actors, is in my mind when I wrote this, they were very much like Kathy and Hoda, like our three of the Good Morning America show, a little bit wine drunk. And that was the note I gave them. I was like, so when you do it, do this. And then they came to me with this idea of like, well, what if we did it like Breakfast Club? And I was like, let me hear it. And I loved it. And I was like, shit, like I love both of these. And so then we landed on like, well, what if one of you does it one way, one does it the other way? And like that was just so perfect that it felt like it really like unlocked those characters, and it never would have happened if they hadn't like brought that to it. So I love that so much.
I love that, and I love that you guys were able to have the creative freedom to decide what it was. You know what I mean? Also, shout out to Kira. We wanted her to be here, but of course she's doing big things off Broadway. So shout out to her. But hopefully we'll get her in down the line. So a follow-up question to that is, Zakiyyah, what was it like? Well, you already told us a little bit about that and you went into depth, but who's Danai is an observer, and as you mentioned, she's lived many lives, and so I'm wondering, you talked about it a little bit, but did any part of Danai feed into Francesca? Like maybe like a youth part of Danai feed into what Francesca is?
Interesting. I don't think so, honestly.
No?
I mean, at least not intentionally. I do think naturally, as an actor, you're always bringing a little bit of yourself, just because it's how you make sense of the character. So I guess in that sense, that's one part that's consistent between both characters, is that there's just a little bit of Zakiyyah there.
Right.
But I was conscious of the fact that Francesca is a product of a different world, and I wanted to honor that. So I think in my mind, I just kind of
separated the two. And I only ask, and I'm kind of like processing this real time, that Danai is, of course, becomes the emotional anchor of the series. Like, that is where we start. It's what we have to hold on to. And it sets the tone. And in a similar way, but extremely different, Francesca is the same thing, because Francesca and Geneva are the hostesses with mostesses. And so they're giving us all the play-by-plays. When they're not being sirens themselves to try to kill Susano, they're, they are what we have emotionally to hold on to. So I was just wondering if there was any segue from one to the other.
I hadn't actually consciously made that connection, but that is a brilliant point. It's like in both instances, my characters are acting as anchors of sorts. I think if anything, that is probably the main connection between the two. It definitely was subconscious, though. It was not an intentional thing, but yeah. Go ahead now, Sadiq, over here pulling out the threads. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Zakiyyah, I very much, you speak with a lot of rhythm, just in general, which I really appreciate. And I was a little stuck in episode 1 on Danai's theme, not because we hadn't written, we had something, but I was sitting there like, it needs something, and then I was like, it just needs rhythm. And that's exactly what we brought to it, and it gave it that little groovy little undertone to it, and that comes from you. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
Nah, it's good stuff, and I feel like Miss Blackwater is going to get a similar treatment.
I await that.
That is very exciting. Another question that's kind of coming to me, and it's a more story-based, Jay, is that one of the beautiful parts of the pacing of this episode and just the storyline of this episode is that it continues to flesh out the world. There was a moment when Celestia wasn't doing freak nasty things with Neptune where they know that they created the castle to be a turtle because it was something that Celestia liked. And I was like, oh, there's these little moments. And I'm wondering, kind of leaning into my next question, but was that intentional? walk me through. I literally sent you a text message that said, "What's a century to a god?" Just exclamation mark, because that line was a bar. And I would love for you to just walk me through this episode. And for fellow investigators like me, who always think too deeply and dig too deeply, was there a method for when the battles transition between who and what's going on? Or was it just like straight up like, it was just about the battles that they were having? And was I on the mark thinking about like the battles that they were facing was related to their hubris and their arrogance, or was it strictly about like this is the person that they killed? So big question.
Yeah, so many good questions in there. This was the hardest episode for me to execute, because we knew that it was this battle, and then I like landed on doing these vignettes, but then what was really hard about that was how to bring all those vignettes together. So to start, like, more generally, I would say in addition to hubris, it is these really like interpersonal battles. If you is that a spoiler? This thing that's happening to them is, and you kind of touched on this, as much a mental like battle that they're having to wage as it is a physical one. And if you think about that like song that you're hearing that like is affecting this particular moment, it feels like each of these fights are kind of manifestations of things. And so when Zakiyyah was talking about Danai's complexity, I resonated a lot with that, also with the Sovereigns, because it's about taking these things that we know them for and then bringing in sometimes what's the exact opposite. So you have, when you first meet Tam Kung, he seems a little timid. He can't even sit right in his chair. And then in episode 4, we see him big and violent and dangerous. And then we see him execute, the only one who could figure out a plan and like brings the team together. And at the end of 5, and then end 6, big the weakest, going out the fastest, right? So always playing those things against each other. Namaka, who's so fun and carefree, guilt and shame. Selassie, who doesn't really care about things and stays aloof, very invested and was still in love and was known to be the right? So like playing with these things, Olokun's confidence, wanting to be the savior and the good one, letting that be the narrative in her mind that she always tries to like live out, and then not. So it was a lot of playing with those things back and forth to try to expose just a little bit of like a deeper story that like one, raised the stakes for everybody, but also just made them all more interesting, like as people. And so what was hard about the pacing of it though was like what chunk goes where. And because I watch Top Chef a lot, and one thing that they say on Top Chef is like, well, chefs love to do like, oh, this is a duo of potatoes or like a duo of fish. And they're always just like, don't do duos, because when you do a duo of something, you're now competing with yourself on the plate. Now we're going to be comparing these two things. And introducing, for me, all these different vignettes and flipping back between them, it made me really scared that people are going to be like, now I got to listen to Selassie again. I was really like into this other one. And like I was creating a thing where they'd be comparing story against story. And so it's how do I have each thing be captivating enough on its own, have them have rise and falls within each other so that I'm taking you out of something when you want me to keep you there, but then put you in something else that you're okay with being, but you still want to go back to the other things that by the time you do go back there, you also haven't forgot what happened 3 vignettes ago. So it was really, really hard. And there was a lot of like copying and pasting and changing things around. And this was also the first time as a writer that I had so much time, which each of the Sovereigns on their own. So for example, that Selassie and Neptune one, that went through a lot of rewrites. Like the scene that we did at the table read was not the scene that made it to the recording, because I had to go back and just change it. I was like, this doesn't feel right. This isn't it. And I felt like it wasn't fleshing out Selassie enough. But she has my favorite lines in this episode, where she just basically is like, everything that you're offering me, you would steal from me. Like, I have these things. You don't have these things. And for me, that was very much a story also about just like womanhood and femininity, of just like these fuckboys coming around like, I could give you all this stuff, and it's just like, I have everything that you're trying to offer me, and the only way you can have it is if you take it from me, and then try to like sell it back to me. That's crazy. And so like her having to come into her own, and then also confront the fact that she held herself off from this group that she maybe actually does love and care about and feels respect for. So this was hopefully like everyone gets to have a learning moment and a turning moment of, I guess the hubris thing is just like getting out of their godhood and getting back to who they are as people, and then allowing that to like help them grow and move forward on their journey.
Right. Oh my gosh. It was so beautiful. I'm trying to like, I love them all, but if I had to pick, I'm so fully invested.
Because I did the duo. I did it.
You did the duo. Well, brilliant. I love the situation between Manon and Nerys, because he's been talking about her since Jump. Like, he's been talking about her since we got into Atlantis. And so for them to be getting manipulated is so interesting. And this is just me speculating, because listen, Sabella was given the same siren hymn and humming it. The siren call, she was humming it when Dante was getting prepared for the exhibitions in the last episode, and now it came back, and I'm just like, bro, what is happening?
I mean, all I'd say, it's not the same. I feel like that's kind of racist to say that all siren songs are the same. You know what I mean? So I would actually say if you go back and listen to episode 4, the song that girl is humming to herself is not the same song. That's not all black people sing alike. So that's what I would add to this discourse in this moment.
Sure. Okay, sure. But I just feel like I listened to it yesterday and then today and multiple times. And I just feel like...
You can't cite the deep magic to me, Witch, because I was there when it was written. You know what I mean?
The truth comes out.
I was
not sitting here with the Chronicles of Narnia.
You know what I mean? I'm going to ask Landy for a second. I was there when they wrote. I know it's different. The sound cues are labeled different things in the folder. So,
Mr. Tumnus, no. Oh my.
This is like, I don't know, Jay, if you shared it. You may have shared it, but it's the guy talking about Cthulhu. And why he doesn't pronounce it Cthulhu. And he was just like, if you haven't seen it, it's on Instagram and it's freaking hilarious. And Zakiyyah, I play D&D and I listen to a lot of D&D, and so it like relates to a god within a game. It's hilarious, but I'll send it to you.
Wait! I know what this means. Do not disturb. No, I'm kidding. But
hilarious.
Help me and acronyms. Remind me.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I was like, I know what that stands for. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. But okay, thank you. That does explain a lot, and I'm really excited, and I'm so tempted to just ask you so many questions, because why would you cliffhanger me? Why would you cliffhanger me? There's not even like an end credit scene. It was just done.
Because I've said like 5, 6, and 7 are their own little mini trilogy arc. And then I didn't answer your last question. You asked kind of about like the castle being a turtle thing. We spoke about this a little bit, I think, in episode 4. I try to sneak exposition in. I think when you info dump, that could be really exhausting and people get annoyed by it. So if I can ever find like little moments to bring things in, so like in Koi Koi Viluz, going through the ages in this universe, and then little things like, oh yeah, so they're like, we've hinted at the Red Flood before, and now we've gone a little bit more into it now. So just like whenever we can parcel those out a little bit, and then we're not having to like have someone just monologue at you stuff, which happens sometimes, but I try to limit that as much as possible. So that's why I try to like, sneak it in. A little spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So just like,
okay.
I have a question. I don't want to take us off course though.
Go ahead.
It just came to my mind.
Go ahead.
I'm curious, Mr. Writer, if at some point in the future, either sequel or otherwise, you may explore some of Danai's journeys.
Hilarious.
Through the library and
so what you don't know is that I'm
and I don't ask this for selfish reasons at all. I'm just kidding. Because it just occurred to me. Wait, that's my character.
I'm working on. How much to say? I'm working on season 2 right now, and There. Okay. I'm working on the second season right now.
You got him, girl.
In working on that second season, it's given me room to think. Oh, here's how I'll say this. In episode 3, when Dante meets the Sovereigns, we learn about like some of his ancestors' bubbles, right? Mm-hmm. And I would say that part of Dante's story, in addition to it being this kind of like solo journey of discovery, it also is very much about legacy and ancestry and kind of generational gifts. And so as each season goes on, I want to kind of introduce a little more of different ancestors. This season obviously is about Danai and a little bit of the... Can I say this? The ring bearer, the ring person, maybe I'll say that, from this season. But I'm always thinking about like, like I know who the family members are, and so I've been thinking about Danai's backstory some more because of some plot things that are happening in season 2. And I will say that my original plan for season 2 had a specific way of bringing Danai's story in there that had to change because of other things. But the good thing, though, is that it left open another avenue for something as it relates to Danai that actually is exciting. So the short answer is yes. And there's some very exciting things. Like, I've made some discoveries about Danai working on season 2 that I didn't even know, that I think just relates so beautifully to all the stuff that you and I have talked about. And there's another, this isn't a spoiler, there's another interlude of Danai's this season, so we'll get to hear her voice some more too. But I would say in some ways, if Dante is narrating his own story, it's almost as if Danai is like, I don't know, there's like a relationship to... I'm gonna stop talking. So yeah.
No, that I got what you're putting down. I picked up what you're putting down, and I think that's brilliant. And like, one reason I asked is because of the legacy and the ancestry, and just like general curiosity over how much similarity there may be.
Yeah.
With Dante's journey and the discoveries he's having, and the things that she went through, and plus I just love me stories that have multiple timelines because you know.
Honestly, I'll say that my goal is also to like, also part of why we have like this backstory with like Selassie and all that stuff is like, or Namaka and her brother, is I was just telling Miguel this. I love stories where there is like a whole bunch of hinted at history between two characters that aren't the main character. Because part of what I'm doing with this series is this is a universe, and I would love one day to not only explore other stories within it myself, but also maybe hand those reins to like other storytellers who might be inspired by it. And so I'm just like, each of the ancestors of Dante's that we'll explore, they're all going to have their own stories.
Beautiful.
That are really rich and stuff. And so, yeah, I hope that Danai's full story gets to be told, because I really am thinking about it, and it's really exciting.
Yeah. Gotta lift that up, because I think, like, amidst all of the magic and mystery we're talking about, I think the heart of what you're doing too as a writer is bringing us back into the joy of discovery and the beauty of familial connection and all of those things. And those are the overarching themes. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Go ahead.
No, all good. I have one or two more questions that are more musically inclined before we get into our mini game. But does anybody have any other questions before we transition?
Whoa, yeah. Whoa.
I don't know how to answer that. Woo!
There you go. Yeah, that's what I was asking. So.
You know, I just want to be very clear. When my friends ask me why I don't sing anymore, it's these moments, okay? Zakiyyah earlier before we started sneezed, and it was a run that was so perfect that I had to stop and she yawned and I had to stop and just recalibrate and
No,
just reassess my whole life.
Miguel playing it on the piano had me shook because I was like, at first I was like, what is he doing? And then I realized he was doing Bayard. I was like, oh snap! And I never. It took a moment to register that. Anyway,
The brilliance.
I'm ready.
The brilliance. So my first question is that we got to hear, technically in the last, well, it was in episode 5, but I want to talk about it. We got to hear the Atlantis national anthem, and Zakiyyah, as you're one of the singers in the group, were you involved? I don't want to get too much into it because I'm sure we'll talk about it, and sorry for the audience, we are recording this out of order, so it's like, why haven't you recorded episode 5? We'll get there, I promise you. But were you a part of it? What was the experience like? I remember hearing it live at one night in Atlantis, which was insane. But I would love your experience, and Jay, your thoughts, and Miguel, did you have any part of it?
Yeah, that was fun for me because it was like, oh, we get to do our own black fantastical anthem for this other world, and put our own stamp on it. And then it was really cool that also just the process of recording it and being able to, well, I don't know how much I should say, like, support our fellow artists through the process in terms of like being able to not only just learn the music, but like if people felt unsure of themselves or whatever, being able to be that voice, to be like, you got this. I think that's one thing I love about being in arts community. And so it, even though we were learning the song, there was like that other camaraderie part that is interesting when juxtaposed to the fact that we're doing a national anthem for this world that is supposed to be about camaraderie. So yeah,
it was a vibe. Yeah, recording that together was crazy. Because again, I mean, we're not all Zakiyyahs, right? So Zakiyyah performs live, but also she'd be in that booth, okay? And for a lot of us, like, we not about that booth lifestyle. We're about that, hot mic out in the world ministry. And so it was the first time that we've, like, for some of us, we've done it that way. So that was interesting. But yeah, writing that was hard. I do not consider myself a songwriter. I think songs are very, 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 very hard and very different. So I try to approach it like more poetically first and then add music to it. And so for this, I was just thinking a lot about like what would be important to Atlanteans. Obviously, each of the sovereigns would want to be referenced at least. And so I had to find subtle ways to do that. But the first time I wrote it, I was writing it like an anthem, which to me can be like very stodgy, kind of morose in a weird way. And I did it, and then I hated it. And I was just like, let's be black. Like, all of my musical, like, background is just hella black. And so I was just like, why not have a lit-ass... And then when you think about, like, even... The Little Mermaid, Under the Sea, like, they got to go Caribbean, like, they got to make Atlantis black in a way, and I was like, well, why can't I gospelify this anthem a little bit? So this is like 2.0 of it, and I thought it came together nicely. So yeah, really hard. I was glad I was able to run it by Miguel, because I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And as always, he gave helpful feedback, and maybe adding some sauce to it, maybe for episode 5, like, around it instrumentally. But yeah.
I mean, Jay, you arranged for vocals, have arranged for vocals, continue to arrange for vocals for the last 15 years. So get out of here with all your false modesty, son. Like, what?
I'm like...
You out here, bro.
No, that's not songwriting. Thank you.
Whatever, bro. Like, tomato, you literally write words. You're an author, and you arrange and write music. You're a musician, ipso facto songwriter. I don't know. That's That's me though. When you sent me it, I was like, oh, okay, like I know what you're going for, and you always hit it with that like little bit of petrichor sickness. I was just figuring a little bit of it out while we were on here, right? What got me was this little run you did with and then you split off with the harmonies, and I'm like,
Yeah,
golly,
that was
okay, like, no. You've always been able to do that very, very well, and that's not something I ever would have written, right? So like, that's what not I would like to be able to. It's not that I'm not incapable, but your ears are just attuned to that sound in a way that mine's aren't, and I love it. So you killed it per usual.
Love it.
Let's talk about someone else. Yeah.
Well, we will, because Miguel, it's your time, my friend. All right,
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
But you absolutely did it. You and Siobhan created a beautiful siren call. Even though Jay calls me racist, I'm like, I literally just sang it back in my head, and I'm so confident it's the same one. But whatever. And you all performed it at One Night in Atlantis, and it was beautiful. And so I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about the creation of the siren call. From you did a solo, I think, from the top, moving, or Siobhan started solo, and then you came in, I think, with piano, but all of it.
Can I show y'all something funny? Because this is all video, right? Like this goes up as video.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I met with Siobhan, and you know me, I don't really love notation. I know I'm trained on it, but like I don't love it because it just gets in the way of like creativity sometimes. So I was like, let's start here, right? and we're gonna plateau over here, and then we're gonna dip. We're gonna go up over here, right? And yeah, right. That makes sense. That don't make no sense. I don't know what the hell that means.
That makes more sense to me than a full staff with a full written out system. I couldn't tell you.
I think you created your own notation, period.
And then we started doing more notation, and it was just like me trying to figure out all of Siobhan's ideas and putting chords to them and blah 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 blah. And this is what I actually played on the day. A one pager with all of the little ideas and all of the things, so I wouldn't have to turn the page. So it was all of the melodic ideas are Siobhan. Like I can't take credit for any of those because Siobhan's fantastic. She sent me all these. I sat at y'all's place, Jay's Siobhan's apartment, and like sat down and like listened to them, noted them all down, and try to organize them. And I was like, why am I doing that? We're just gonna fiddle faddle until they lock in. And sat with it once a week for a couple weeks, and then, put the skills to use. Siobhan has beautiful melodies, just like Jay, so it's really easy to put together. And then you might have already heard little pieces of the stuff that Siobhan put together in episode 4, actually. So
yeah,
it's all
the
there.
different song that she put in episode 4. That's different than the song heard in episode 6.
On the piano. You would have heard it on the piano.
I refuse to be judged. I know what I heard. Okay. Anyway.
There's just a couple of shades difference.
Right.
Of shades. One's a little bit more light skinned than the other. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding.
Listen, Linda. I know what I heard. Okay. But also, I'm not the right person to ask because I never remember my part in any vocal arrangement. So, anyway, moving on to the mini game.
Yes.
When we the first mini game that we played, we are bringing that back because Jay's a cheater, and I will continue to call him out. We are doing celebrity casting again. We are 6 episodes in, and it's a different group of people. So you better have your celebrity lineup, and of course, when the show gets made, we all know that it's going to be this amazing cast that is the one that plays their parts. We know that.
That's
now,
why she's calling me a cheater, Zakiyyah, because I was like, if we had to turn this into a TV show, I would still go with y'all. And now she's telling me that, like, oh, no, we need to get celebrities in there. And I'm like, I know celebrities. They're just pre-famous, okay? Anyway.
Madam.
Ooh, mic drop.
Well, first of all, yes, duh, but also dream a little. That's all I'm saying now. Okay? Good grief. Right. So I would love to hear from Queen Mother herself, Zakiyyah. Who do you think would play Danai?
It's so funny because I was thinking, the first people that come to my mind are either Angela Bassett, I love Viola Davis, or, her name,
I'm good at this. Tell me what she's been in.
so disrespectful.
Yeah. What is she in?
Weaves Bayou.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And she was in Charmed as the seer. Gonna look this up right now.
Dang.
Debbie. Is it Debbie something? Debbie Morgan. Her name is Debbie Morgan.
No, what? Is it? I don't think so. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Oh, yeah, her too. I was gonna say
Hilarious.
Lynn Whitfield. I was gonna say Lynn Whitfield.
Lynn Whitfield. Love Lynn Whitfield. Wow.
Lynn Whitfield would be good. She would be good. I was like, but my only thinking about Lynn Whitfield is that sometimes she's just like, her roles are too serious and she normally plays a straight man. And I just feel like Danai also has a playful air about her, about her baddiness. So I'm just like my thinking is like Loretta Devine esque, you know?
I mean, you gotta think about Lynn Whitfield maybe like with her Cheetah Girl days, you know, where she still got to be a little, you know, fun, little something. She has that in her.
That's true. That's true. Okay. I mean, clearly you and Kira are the only perfect duo to do this, but Francesca and Geneva, who would you want to see play them? Honestly, I think with what you guys said, to me it's giving like a Keke Palmer and like a
I was gonna say Keke Palmer too.
I love that so much. Yeah.
It's
a Journey Smollett.
Yes. Ooh. Like somebody more straight laced. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Or like straight lace could also be like a Gabrielle Union because I can hear her voice doing like that.
True. Oh my gosh, who would Gabrielle be with though? Okay.
Ooh. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I love. This is horrible, and I love her as an actress. Regina.
Huh?
Regina King.
I think y'all both said the different ones.
Yeah.
The funnier one.
Regina Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although again, Regina King did the Boondocks, so they both.
That is true.
She funny as
That
well.
is true.
Yeah.
She is hilarious.
I only know her from serious stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, she was a riot.
And she was in 227. Yeah, she started in comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Regina Hall would be hilarious. I think a good Regina Hall.
That's the answer. Both the Reginas. That's who I'd want to see.
Yes.
Regina and Regina Hall. Yeah.
Yes.
They'd be hilarious.
Yes. Shout out to. Oh yeah. No. Okay. Shout out to DigiK, but Susano. Who do you think would play him?
He killed that role. I don't want nobody else. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you know
he was amazing.
What is his name? I feel horrible. I forgot his name. But he just won his first Emmy for Shogun. And he plays the Shogun. Yes. I don't remember his name.
He's amazing.
Yes, it would be him. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Sensei. I don't remember his name.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
Because I feel like he typically does play like characters like that, but I think there's a lightness in Susano that I would love to like see him get to play with just a little bit too, so it's not as like dark and heavy as it always is.
Did y'all watch Shogun?
I only watched the first episode.
It was great.
So
It was brilliant.
One of the other actors, Japanese actors, Tatsunobu Asano, he is so ruthless and also so silly.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
You know, like
He was very
literally
silly.
like boiled somebody alive, but he's also joking about it the next day, and you're like, huh?
Yes.
Balance.
Yeah.
What? Like, what do you
gotta
mean?
have balance.
So he could be good too.
He could be good too, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking there's a well, he may not be able to do it, but there's a Japanese actor who I love. His name is oh my gosh, Takeru Sato. He's a Kenshin in the live action movies.
Oh,
handsome.
okay.
Handsome. He's not old enough. But he has like he could be playful and he could also murder everyone.
You know, I'm like, gods and age, they play with it. They're immortal.
Yeah.
True. Okay, 2 more. Olokun. Olokun is interesting because they are both male and female. So my first instinct was a drag queen.
Ooh, wow.
And I was just like, that could be dope, like a Monet exchange.
Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who has gravitas. I've never seen Monet in a dramatic role, but like I weirdly do see the yeah, I could see a Monet. Wow, I love that idea of a drag queen. Yeah, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else for Olokun?
I think you hit it on the head.
Yeah.
Well, honored. Also, Monet, if you're watching this, I know you're not, but I love you, and you're my fairy godmother in my head.
I'm so sorry. Yes to Monet.
Okay.
Or Shea Coulee.
I was also thinking Shea Coulee. Also thinking Shea Coulee.
That Shea like
Just like she's a queen. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with
Yes.
that, actually.
Wow, Shea Coulee would be a revelation. Anyway, okay. Lastly, Sabella, our innocent seamstress, but I'm keeping my eye on her.
Who could be a good Sabella?
Who's a good like character actress?
Who kind of also has auntie vibes in a way. I think her and Danai are very similar.
That's true. My first thought was Stephanie Sue, but I also think she's too young.
Oh yeah, she's too young.
It's
Lisa
like
Bonet, but like 10 years ago.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting.
I was gonna say we need like our today's version of Alfre Woodard, and I just don't know who that is.
Love Alfre Woodard.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, yes, like mother, like daughter.
She a little young for me though.
Okay.
So isn't she close to 40 or something? She's not that young. She looks like a baby because that family doesn't seem to age.
I don't think Zoe's close.
We're not. I think.
She's I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, she's older than me. I know that.
We're knocking on 40's door ourselves, so let me not say that she's far from it.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting up there.
What about homegirl from
You gotta speak for
Atlanta?
yourself.
Right. Homegirl from what?
From Atlanta.
No, I know who it is. Atlanta. Y'all are playing way too young still. Oh my God, Anjanou Ellis Taylor.
Anjanou. Yeah.
I'm sitting there racking my brain.
Yeah. Anjanou. Oh man.
Kill it.
Yeah. Or Uzo Duba would also be fabulous.
Uzo would be great.
Also be fabulous.
Uzo would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
All right, Siobhan, you're fired.
Wait, so we're replacing everybody but Dante?
No, I would never play Dante live action, so that's easy.
No, yeah, he's never won. Do you have any thoughts for Dante? Because we've gone through, like, we've had a bunch of ideas. Did we mention Brian Tyree Henry? Because I think if we didn't say that, Christina said that to me the other day, and I was just like, he would be a brilliant Dante.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
Brian Tyree Henry was in not Elementals.
Yes, he was in they're not
Eternals.
Eternals.
Thing.
But Atlanta,
also Atlanta.
Everything. That man is in so many things.
The black guy in Eternals?
Yes.
Yeah, with the husband, yeah.
Okay.
Love him.
I mean, to that point though, like, so Dante's the narrator. This was also why it was kind of hard this episode, because I was in some ways ceding narration away from Dante, right? Like introducing Geneva and Francesca as pseudo narrators just to change it up, because I felt like, are we getting tired of Dante's voice all the time? And then also allowing it was one of those things that was so interesting, because I was writing about these characters, but the characters weren't themselves talking, so the actors wouldn't be performing these things. And then I was like, oh, then this is a whole episode of me talking about them. And so we actually changed it so that they would start performing some of their monologues.
I love that.
Yeah, so just like breaking up some of that narration all the time, so it's not always Dante. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. Well, that was the end of the mini game, y'all. That was a lot of fun. I think you know what, Jay, you redeemed yourself. I'll get off your back now.
Thank you.
I'll get off your back, but it's only because Zakiyyah saved you, and I need you to know that.
I receive it. Thank you, Zakiyyah. Yeah.
Because that's what queens do. So I would love. Does anybody have any final thoughts? Like, this is episode 6, and I think we're gonna record 13, so we're like halfway through, which is insane. Time is flying. But
there's only 11 episodes this season.
Yes, but then, we have a special that they don't need to know about right now, that we talked about, because there's a recap in the special.
Oh, of Dante Diaries, you mean?
Yeah.
Got it. I was just like, I didn't write no more scripts, girl, so it's only going to be 11 episodes.
Know what?
I will say this. Should I say this? I will say this. There is a bonus episode that was written and recorded that features our two favorite hosts, Geneva and Francesca. It's technically episode 0, and I'll release it on the Patreon. I don't know when. You all should let me know. But it takes place.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, it takes place on the first day of Convocation, and it's just Geneva and Francesca getting their head in the game and maybe getting poked a little bit by Selwyn. It's really cute. So yeah, a little cute little backstory that we'll post some point. Yeah.
Look, on behalf of the Patreon, give it to us. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and plan it, edit it, give it to us. Any final thoughts? Zakiyyah, where can the people find you? Outside of the fact that you are releasing a debut album in June called African Import, check out her website. Check her out on Instagram at Zakiyyah Official. But just anything else?
No, you hit the nail on the head, and the website is ZakiyyahOfficial.com.
Done and done. Well, thank you. Again, any last thoughts? I don't want to overstep anyone. Miguel, you have any last thoughts?
If y'all want an even more in-depth interview on Zakiyyah, I interviewed Zakiyyah a couple of years ago on the BIPOC Artist Hour. It was one of my favorite interviews, so go check that out.
Yes. And if you're a part of this Patreon, I need you to go and follow Play Black, okay? Because Play Black is where you need to go for all your black and nerdy thoughts, and it's hosted by Jay and Miguel. We always keep it in the family. No, that sounds wrong. That's some white people shit.
Just like this season of White Lotus, we real incestuous over here, okay?
And this is a podcast with two men you really want to listen to. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I will say the women in our lives have said that we are men that are allowed to have mics.
Truly the only ones.
That has been the most important review or endorsement, has been women saying that you are men that are allowed to keep your podcast.
The feeling I have every single time people ask me, like, what are your hobbies? And I'm like, I do this, I do that, I have a podcast.
Right. Right.
Because I don't want to be that
Right.
that dude who has a podcast.
Listen, Linda, and it's
No,
not.
our mom said it's okay. Yeah, we're allowed to do it. Yeah.
No, you guys definitely have permission, and it's not because I mentioned every episode. It is truly because I love Play Black Plaid. It is awesome. Please check it out. Randomly emotional. I went through a hell of a year last year, but listening to Play Black Plaid was really soothing and really comforting. It was like a friend in my ear, and they're funny. And Jay has poor takes, but Miguel just handles it like a champ. So
I have immaculate takes.
Yeah,
Wow.
I said it.
Wow.
I said it. Somebody needed to say it. Somebody needed to say it, and I said it. Okay.
It's okay, Jay. You wrote a book about it. You're amazing.
I know. It's just sometimes so hard for me to hear people be wrong so deeply. You know what I mean? I'm just like, how do they function? How does it? I don't understand it. So I'll pray for you, though. Thoughts and prayers.
Take us out to people before it gets nasty.
Anyway.
Yeah, we don't need no sirens up in here.
Right.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, remember that as listeners of Dante's stories, you are now among a community of adventurers and story seekers. As you move through the world, remember, even if you are feeling lost and out of sorts, you may not remember who you are. Life is crazy, but remember that you are made for something greater. It is innate within you. So stay the course and always keep your eyes open. Adere est facere. And so we dare, and so we do. See you later. Thank you, Zakiyyah.
Like to end with stay black. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. No, that one. Heavy on that.
Love y'all.